All right, let's get into this. I am wearing a tube top, but welcome to my channel. This is Nia Talk on here, and we're going to talk about it. I want to talk about YouTube and myself and how I'm like the most hated YouTuber when it comes to working. And let's get into it. So, my channel, I don't really edit too much. This is it. You're going to get what it is, and I love that. So, I was recently listening to a really cool guy. His name is Leo. You've seen his podcast and all of his shows. Like, he's a really cool dude, Albanian guy, and I just love all his motivational talks. And he said something about how you have to take acceptance of the risks that you have when you do social media. And he wasn't saying that you're doing something bad. He's more so saying that people suck and they can't be themselves, and they just not it. They not like me. You know, I'm Mia. I'm me. A lot of people are not like me. And when you have people out there who see that you're authentically yourself, you got a YouTube channel, you did everything, they're going to want to attack you. And people have attacked him as well. And he just said you have to take the risk and be okay with it. You have to accept what's going to come with it. And I really am honing into that. I'm honing into more of being myself and not accepting retaliation, but also going along with, okay, people are going to hate me. I talk about black rights. I talk about black women. I talk about DEI. I talk about being a bad bee at the end of the day. And I won't stop. I've noticed that my channel has not been doing well in the way that I want it because I've stopped talking about what's meaningful to me. I've been censoring a lot. And I've thought about this before. I've watched a video about, I think it was like a fashion student talking about how you need to embrace being yourself and, you know, this and that. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure that student came from money, and it's easy to have self-expression when you don't have to rely on a job. A lot of these jobs have shareholders. They have people with opinions. They have people who are racist. They have people who are racist with money, and they're willing to take the racist person with money over taking you. So it's like you have to think about those things as you make content. Now, something I really want to just ingrain into you, make your content. If you have respect for yourself and your morals and your value, they're all in check. You're not making content that makes you seem like a dirt bag. You're not making content that's capitalist. You put your morals and your values above money. Of course, lame TikTokers and all these weirdos are going to come at you at your job, at your school, whatever. They see that you are able to do things on your own because people like you. And this video is to be a message for you, not for them. Let those lame-os be lame-os. They will suck for the rest of their life. But for you, this video is to make you feel more comfortable making the content that you want to make. I'm in a new setting now, so I'm really enjoying it and making the content that I'm making now again. But definitely, I just want to talk about how it was nerve-wracking. Like, I was recently at a training. It was disgusting, a dirty company in Utah. And I just went back into, even to speak about, I just went into my social media for Nia Talk. And I saw how people, individuals, and I don't want to say they're bad or good, but either way, women from the training that I was in messaged me on my media. And I didn't know because I wasn't in that account at that time. And I'm like, I was in a career and a job where people were obsessed with me so much, like to a dangerous level. Like, that's also the price you have to pay. Sorry, I'm cooking some eggs on the stove, like, you know, boiled some eggs. I'm about to have an egg salad sandwich. It's stinky, but it tastes good. I didn't even know people were so obsessed with me. I had no clue. I had no clue till I left that company, and I was like, these people are psychopaths. But that's a risk and price you have to pay. That's exactly what Leo said. He said it's the price you have to pay. When you are famous, and I don't want to say I'm famous, but when you are famous in their eyes, you can have 2 followers. With the fact that you got 2 followers and that's something that they can't do, they can't get their face out there. The bullying has stopped. I will say the harassment online from them and their fake accounts has stopped. I hope it doesn't start up again because I'm talking about it, but I think it's important to talk about it because as I approach my new career and my new job, I will not make videos. I did that before with that crazy company I worked for. And then as soon as I started making videos, it was just like everyone was like 10 times obsessed with me. And it was like my coworkers. That was the crazy part. And because the company was corrupt, these individuals took advantage of a corrupt and racist system that they had in place that I did not know about. And I want to say another thing. As a content creator, be happy you don't know. Be happy you don't know the BS and the sneaky and the slime and the disgusting things that people are up to. Be happy about it. Like, I remember how hurt I was by some people that I thought I was cool with at this company that decided to be so nasty and rude and, you know, stuff down the line because they were jealous of who I was. But be happy you didn't know. Be happy you were going to work doing your thing. Be happy you were going to school doing your thing. Be happy you live your life like a normal person and you are not rude, you're not mean, you're not nasty to people just because other people are jealous of you. When you're online, and it's another thing Leo said too that was important. I'll probably post a video on there because it was a really good video. You being able to grab people's attention just because of who you are is going to eat the dog-ish out of people. It's going to eat them up. It don't matter how much money they have. The fact that you can get online and people are listening to you, I don't care if it's 2, 5, 10 people listen to what you had to say out your mouth. Out your mouth. And they can't even keep someone's attention in public. Like, they can't do nothing. That's going to eat them up. And allow it to eat them up. But also don't think that retaliation from it eating them up is acceptable or normal. You know, I really want to stress that making content that is respectable, that talks about advocacy, everything that means well to you and to the world is not a crime. I want to say that too. I want people to know you are allowed to have your own opinion. You are allowed to talk about your experiences. And you are definitely allowed to push DEI and push blackness. Don't ever let somebody stop you from doing that. Don't ever let somebody say shareholders are going to stop. And I'm telling you, all those type of companies that, you know, care about it and all those type of employees that care about, like, you as a person and your social media presence, they're doing something wrong as a company. And they're trying to hide that. And by you having a voice is a threat. You're a threat. You can literally out them at any moment. And they're scared. No amount of lawsuit can, and I don't have a lawsuit, but I'm just saying, like, I know that's something that people are scared of. And I'm like, no amount of that can take away from, and most of the times, sorry, I'm still checking this out. Most of the time, they don't win. But it doesn't take away that your company is doing something wrong and your company ends up failing within like a year or two. Because you're still trying to hide stuff and sweep it under the rug. And it shows the way you treat your employees. So yes, I'm talking about the relation to working and having social media presence. We all need to make money. But for me, I separate work and social media, and the career I was going into, which I still am, but for that company, because a lot of people who went to that company don't have a life. They were either washed up housewives, or they were washed up baby mamas, or they were newly engaged, or they were just like really pathetic white girls. I'm sorry to say, I'm sorry I said it like that, but I'm gonna say pathetic. There's some white girls that are cool out there. I always talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They're cool, but there's some that suck. And the ones that sucked was in that company, and they tried to make my life hell. Okay? No censoring this video this time. Like, I'm being real. I want to talk about my experience because I don't want anyone. I'm looking at my eggs on the stove. I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. I am that person. I'm not the person that sits there and is just like, I went through that terrible thing. I'm going to just leave it alone. I'm going to hide under a rock. Hell to the no. We're going to talk about it. Yeah, best believe we're going to talk about it. I really want the best for black women. I don't play that. If me wanting the best for a group that is marginalized, punished, tortured, whipped, right? Let's get into history. If me wanting the best for that community is a threat to anybody, F them and F that company. And yes, I'm looking at my eggs on the stuff. Yes, this is coming out now. I should have made this video later, but I was listening to that YouTuber speak, and I was like, everything he said was so correct. And he said, you have to pay the price if you want to get somewhere, which makes sense. And that's why I'm like thinking about it. And I'm like, you also need to realize that there are people out there who suck and they want to be you. They want to be a YouTuber. They want to be a TikToker. They want to do all these things. And even if they have followers or not, they still cannot manage to have a personality to actually be somebody. Now, I want to get into how people take on a certain career for the sake of media. I don't. This specific career is very popular. It's flexible. You can travel a lot. Y'all already know what it is. I already told y'all. But with this career, a lot of people use it to give them a social status because they don't have one. Now, for Nia to the talk, that's not my plan, and it never will be my plan. I'll be a whistleblower for sure. But what I won't do is turn my fame, right, from me for a career that is very popular on TikTok right now. I don't do that. So you have a lot of women that went into this field looking for that, looking for this. This field ain't gonna make you no money that I'm in. It's really not. You'll survive, you'll eat, but it's like you gotta have two sources of income when you do this particular job, and that's my goal, and that's what I have. With that being said, a lot of the people I worked with, all I gotta say is one thing. Ain't none of them have because of the ads. Ain't none of them have a stamp in their passport, but got the nerve to step foot on a plane and do a job. That's all I gotta say. There's a lot of people who suck in this world. And I'm not saying if you don't have stamps in your passport, you suck. I'm saying for this particular career, the fact that you haven't even left the United States, but you got the nerve to say that you want to be somebody that is inclusive and please get out my face. People use their occupation as their life. And that's something I will never do. I will never, ever use a job to enhance my YouTube career, my TikTok, my Instagram. No. Because at the end of the day, that's telling me I had to use another company and another source to do something that I could not do. Right? I couldn't get the fame on my own. That's what that says to me. And those are the group of women I was around. And they stalked my social media. They were very racist. It was really bad. But through it, I ended up not working with that company. I couldn't take it no more. I was like, why would I even want to fight to be in a company like that? And this is what I mean by don't let anyone tell you your social media is bad. If you're not out here shaking ham, you not out here punching people in the face, you not out here all intoxicated all over the place, you not out here, you ain't doing nothing wrong with being a beautiful black woman with education on your shoulders. Don't let anybody tell you that is wrong. Because the reason, and I'm going to wrap it up, the reason I encourage others, another big one, to make a YouTube channel or do something where they can get paid. Don't do TikTok. Getting paid on TikTok is not it. Don't do that. You're going to end up being a little capitalist minion. We go to work every day working for other people who make a profit off of us. You know what I mean? And then we go home and we do absolutely nothing. We take pictures for free. Like, what are we doing here? Get on YouTube. Get on it while at least it's decent now. I think it's about to get crazy harder in the future. So jump on it now. And also, my last thing, I might make a little short about this. Don't listen to people that tell you you can't do it because you only got 2 views. You only get 2 likes. When I tell you, there be little coins in my pocket, thank you. I will take the 2 views, I will take the 2 likes, and I will go on about my merry way. Because YouTube does not reward anybody who's a sucker. It does not. You sit around saying, all right, I'm going to spend this amount of time making a video. Hopefully it becomes so good that I get maybe like 500 to 1K to whatever, 2K, 10K, whatever. And at the end of the day, you make it or not, YouTube doesn't care. YouTube, right? Google AdSense wants views. They don't care how you get it. But if you sit there and you wait a week, your interaction goes down. Your whole analytics is down. But when you constantly post, you keep it going. So yeah, I get that. I'd be like, dang, I made a good video that only got 2 views. Well, crap, that made me not want to make anything. Don't do that. Because the less you make videos, the less YouTube is going to reward you. They're not going to be sharing your stuff all over the search and hashtags. You're not going to be in the feed because you barely make anything. That's how they think. That makes sense. So don't let that scare you either. If you have 500 videos and you only have 500 subscribers, who gives a F? Do it. Keep making it. I don't care if it's 1 view per video. Make the dang content. There are a lot of people who are going to look at you for your downfall. Sorry, there's a fly. See, this is why. We have a lot of plants in our house. I'm so sorry, y'all. There's going to be a lot of people looking at you for the downfall of your channel, of who you are. And I'm going to tell you this. The only downfall there is, and when it happens, is when you stop making content and you stop being who you are. I almost had a moment where, like, because of a career, I stopped making content. And that put me down in the threshold, like down my pockets. And I'm like, what the heck? And like I said, at the end of the day, they could let you go like that. You could walk away like that. And what do you have to show for it? As in you, what is your own coin? Where are you the boss in your life? A lot of people, they're not the boss in their personal lives. So then they go to work and they try to be a boss there and they try to bully and micromanage. And that's not who I am. I don't have time to do that. But yeah, we're going to stop the video there. I'm probably going to share Leo's video on my channel. It was very inspirational. I hope you all just at least try to make one video today. I don't care if nobody sees it. Just get it out there and gain some confidence because it feels really good. Bye, y'all. And remember, you can talk about anything that's cultural, anything that's black, anything that's you, anything that you've experienced. You're allowed to talk about it. People don't want you to talk about it because they're scared of complaints. But if you're not doing nothing wrong as a company, you wouldn't get no complaints. Bye, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me stop. Bye.